Thank you for joining us. I'm Nicole, I'm your Naked Socialite, and this is Chris. He is our head wine advisor. Behind us, you'll see the hustle and bustle of everything that is nakedwines.com. We've got our customer happiness team and our wine advisors behind us here working hard. So we thought we'd take a moment today to address some of your most frequently asked questions on the website, which happen to do with wine advisors, which is why we have our head wine advisor, Chris, because who better to answer those questions?
Hey, everyone.
All right, let's just jump right in. Let's see. The most asked question that we receive is, I see wine advisors on your website. What is a wine advisor?
That's a good starting question right there. Wine advisors, who we are, we're the team that we are professional drinkers, if you will. We get to really know and understand every single wine that comes into our company. We often taste with the winemakers. I'm sure some of you have seen that gorgeous tasting space we have. We meet with the winemakers. We really try to get to know these bottles so that we can direct the angels to exactly what they're looking for.
Very nice. Sounds like a hard job.
Oh, it's really difficult. It's back-breaking labor, but, we sacrifice.
All right. Next question is, I feel like when I find a wine that I enjoy, I will go to reorder it and find that it is no longer in stock. Why can I not reorder a wine that I really enjoy?
Yeah, that does happen from time to time with us here, unfortunately. I think, what's really great about the wine we make here at nakedwines.com is that all of our wines are very boutique style. We're not making wines where you have, 200, 300,000 cases of a single wine. So a lot of these wines, what's great about that is you taste the artistry of the wine. You really get to know the location it's coming from. The bad news there is they do tend to run out a lot quicker than what you'd see at a normal sort of store. What's great about the wine advisors, though, is because they're trying all these wines, because they're understanding all these wines, they really get to know which winemakers are kind of, do things in a very similar fashion. So if you love, say, for instance, David Akiyoshi's Chardonnay, they can, and we happen to just run out of that one, they can direct you to a wine that's very similar, something that has a similar amount of oak treatment, really get into those questions with you and direct you to something that's just as good and hopefully maybe help you find a brand new favorite winemaker.
There you go. Well, why don't I test you on that?
Okay, what do you got?
Let's get to the next level. Let's not just do, this one's out. What else should I get? How about I just moved states.
Okay.
And I used to love drinking Chablis, but now my state only allows me to get domestic wines.
Yeah, some states do that to us, don't they? What's really great about that is Chablis is, it's 100% Chardonnay from France, and it's unoaked. So what you want to look for is something similar to that, and one of my absolutely favorite wines is Jack Cole's Unoaked Chardonnay, which I know is going to be releasing, not quite yet, but pretty soon here, hopefully.
That one has a cult following.
Yeah, it's a great wine. Like I said, one of my personal favorites. So if you're looking for something like a Chablis, anything that's unoaked or with a really low oak treatment is going to treat you really well.
Okay, you pass. We get it. You know your wine.
Little bit.
All right, so next question. As a wine advisor, how do you pick your wines?
See, I have a really strange way of picking my wines, actually. I pick my wines based on the weather.
Okay.
And a little different, but I always figure, if it's a really hot day, I'm probably going to be eating lighter fare anyways. So, a nice dry rosé for me is always a perfect bottle of wine. Or, even like a nice Sauvignon Blanc. When it gets a little colder, though, you start getting into roasts, into stews, into things like that. Mm-hmm. So that's when I always pick up the big, heavy cabs. I also just kind of like to keep a good variety of wine on hand in general. To me, one of the most fun things about wine is sharing it. And entertaining, inviting your friends over, all that kind of fun stuff.
So you do that at home and basically at work?
All the time, constantly. I'm just constantly talking about wine. So I like to keep something sweet, something sparkling, and just really, open up what my friends enjoy and have some fun with them talking about our favorite wines.
I want an invite. Good grief. Okay, next question. How do I get the best value, the biggest bang for my buck?
That's a big one. A lot of people ask that question, and people want to know that the wine they're picking out, that they feel like they're getting something real special. What's cool about our wines is on our wine board, you'll see a small crown icon next to wines that fall into what we call the sweet spot. And what that means is that it's this really cool area of wine where a lot of the money that you're putting into it is actually going right into the grapes and into winemaking techniques. So the things you can taste that coming out of a bottle. You know, you can't taste the glass that they have to pay for in the wine. Hopefully not. And so you really get these wines that are just this great bang for your buck, because a lot of the money's going into just quality grapes, quality winemaking techniques. I really like to buy my wines around the sweet spot price. Every now and then I splurge a little bit. You got a bottle of champagne. Bottle of champagne for some celebrations. But really, my favorite everyday drinkers are in that sweet spot. So if you see that little crown icon, you know you're getting something really good.
Beautiful. All right, I think we have one last question here. How do I know when my favorite winemaker is releasing a new wine?
That can be a tough one, because they really want to make sure they're releasing the wine when it's ready, and you really don't know that until you're tasting the wine every day. The winemakers have a really tough job too. So what I always recommend people do is follow the winemakers. If you're getting those notifications from those winemakers, they're always going to let you know when they're releasing something either new or something that they've released in the past. It's a great way to kind of know what they're thinking too during the winemaking process. It's just a lot of fun. And I always love telling the winemakers, after I've tried their wine, how I felt about it. So it's a great way to just interact. Another thing you can do is, especially if you're having a hard time finding maybe your next favorite winemaker, give us a call over on the wine advising team, and we can definitely help you find something that is going to be comparable to the things you love already, and really help you, discover that new favorite wine of yours.
Nice plug.
Thank you. That was pretty good, right?
The other thing I will mention is if there's a bottle you really love and it runs out, you can place it on your wish list, and we'll let you know when it comes back in stock, even if it's the next vintage or maybe just a follow-up release.
It's a great way to keep track of your favorite wines, and I know I have a lot of favorites, so I want to make sure I'm keeping track of all of them.
I follow all the winemakers, and I put everything on my wish list.
Nice.
I'll be real.
Nice.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to comment, like this, let us know if you have any other questions or anything else if you want us to talk about on future videos or whatever. We'd be glad to answer your questions for you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.